Russia.
There's something there, so let's see what they can bring.
Yep, it's a gold medal match we didn't expect. The number 1 seed, the Koreans. Well, no surprise that they're here. But who expected the number 15 seeds to be joining them in the gold medal match? Well, the women's team crashed and burned, rather surprisingly, the Koreans. So it's up to the men to restore national pride, and here's the 3 that are going to do it, and my goodness me.
What a 3.
I mean, how many Olympic medals, gold medals, do these 3 have between them? Im Dong-hyu, Kim Woojin, Jin Hyek, gold from Athens, from Beijing, from Rio, from London.
Probably 50 or 60 World Cup medals between them, so yeah, not bad.
So good luck, boys. Denis, Gankin, Sanzhar, Mussayev, Oibek, Saidiyev, putting Kazakhstan on the archery map, whatever happens here. It's been absolutely stunning the way these 3 have performed. There's never been a Kazakhstan gold medal at an Archery World Cup event. Is this the day? You would think, against elite archers like the Koreans, and that is a ridiculously strong trio. You would think they have no chance, but the way they've knocked out the Americans, the way they've held their nerve against Japan and Russia, here they are in the final. They're playing with house money. Go out and have some fun.
And the body language looks great. It looks like they're out there to have a good time and deliver a result. They don't look like they've gone out there scared and they're going to go and hide. No. First impressions, because they could have just looked scared, and being scared against the Korean team would be understandable.
You've beaten before you start. Isn't it great to see the Kazakhstanis here? It's nice to see a few surprises, but are they now going to be put in their place? Is the form book going to be written solidly?
You say it'd be Kazakhstan's first gold World Cup medal. I'm not sure if they've had a silver or a bronze. Right. It might be already be history. Let's see how we do. Oh, didn't take long for Korea to find the medal.
Well, Im Dong-hyu has medals in Athens, in Beijing, a bronze in London, 22 World Cup medals on his own. I mean, this is a staggeringly talented trio. It really is. The 8 from the London gold medalist.
Yeah. Just tweaking his sight there, so each click of that sight is 1/10 of a millimetre.
It's been said before, the Koreans sometimes will start slowly. That's the one chance you get. Now, Kazakhstan have got to take advantage.
Okay.
They get going with a 9.
Again, you can see sight being moved. They're obviously thinking the wind in the finals field different to the practice field. This is the first time they've shot out here.
Denis Gankin has opened up with a 9. And
okay.
Following suit there.
Solid, not giving anything away, but not taking advantage.
Well, a 9 will see them on level terms, and that's exactly what they've come up with.
The 3 guys have got good form. They've all got good, world-class technique, so maybe we'll get used to seeing them on the podium more often.
A couple of real young-looking shooters on there as well, I thought.
Kim's in there.
It's almost like the Koreans have said, okay, you've had your fun.
This could be it now.
Now the big boys are coming out to play.
They just look so relaxed.
I remember it was though, that dropped a rather surprising 8 on us with his first shot.
He's moved his sight. He's fine now.
Yeah. Well, the Kazakhstanis know exactly what they've got to do. They've all got to score 10 to get a share of this first set. 9's not good enough, I'm afraid. Denis Gankin. Well, would have wanted an 8, or wouldn't have wanted an 8. And the first 2 points are on the board for Korea.
So again, you're still going to want to shoot these shots as best as you can. Gives you a chance. Ooh, that's a chance to set your sights ready for the next end.
Well, let's see if Oibek, Saidiyev can have them finishing high, because Mussayev's 6. I mean, if you're going to drop a 6 into the mix, do it when it's all over anyway.
That's true. It's not critical, but it still chips away at the old self-esteem, I can assure you. And looking at the trees, looks like it's getting a bit choppy again. It's strange how the wind comes through, because they're in the middle of the city, middle of the financial district, I think it is. You can see how the wind comes through the big buildings. It is not like being on a big open field.
And I guess if it's a nice, gentle breeze, you can adjust and you can compensate. When it's inconsistent, and that's the word we've heard from so many of the athletes all week, it's been inconsistent. How can you deal with that?
It's difficult. You have to read the flags on top of the target, as you can see them blowing there. Sometimes you can't move your sights, so you have to aim off. So if the wind's been low, and then as it's my turn to shoot, I've only got a few seconds to do it, and I can see the wind's picked up, rather than point at the dead center of the target, I'll aim off and I'll hope that the wind will then drift my arrow into the middle. But that's all part about being an international world-class archer. You've got to have these skills. It's not just about doing the same shot over and over again. You've got to learn how to read the wind, how to adapt, and how to perform in this environment.
And I think from a spectator perspective as well, that's what makes outdoor archery so much more absorbing than the indoor stuff, because you don't know what's going to come with the elements. That does just bring in that X factor, doesn't it?
Very true, but also indoors I sometimes love it because there's no reason they can't shoot a perfect score.
Yeah, it's purity.
No excuse.
Yeah.
Sometimes these guys might do a perfect shot and the wind takes over to the 9, but when you're indoors, if it doesn't go in the middle, you know where to look. You know who's to blame.
Well, let's see what Denis Gankin can open up with here. He had a 9 followed by an 8, and there's another 9.
Solid.
You can see how they reached the final.
Yeah, it's good. Good, steady, world-class shooting.
There's nothing wrong with this trio.
But being good, steady, and world-class is not enough normally to beat Korea.
Saidiyev will complete the trio. We still wait for a 10 from them, and there it is.
Okay, didn't have to wait long.
On cue.
Sometimes a result early in the season like this can mean that the team can then secure funding to do the rest of the World Cup. It can make a huge difference to a program.
Kazakhstan, very supportive of elite athletes. If you show potential and promise in Kazakhstan, they will help develop and push you. And this, if nothing else, is fantastic experience from them, because they're up against the best of the best here. And it's always good to measure yourself against the very best. See how far you've got to go.
They're definitely going to get a benchmark.
Yeah, we had that 8 from Woojin Hyek with his first arrow. I would not be shocked if that's the last arrow that isn't a 10 or a 9 from these Koreans.
He's moved his sight now, remember, so...
Oh, my goodness me. Wow.
Speak too soon.
I'll shut up from now on. And that was only just an 8 as well.
A few more clicks on the sight.
Is there an element that they think is too easy? It shouldn't
Sometimes if you can get into a match and you don't concentrate as much. Sometimes you need the pressure to focus, but these guys are professionals. They shouldn't be like that. Again, solid shooting.
Well, wouldn't it be great if these two coming up, Mussayev and Saidiyev, could drop 10s in there and really put some pressure on the Koreans? That would be interesting to see how they responded. That's not what he needed.
No.
But a 10 from Saidiyev would give the Koreans a bit of work to do, especially the way O seems to be a bit in and out.
Yeah, and he's normally, as you'd expect from any gold medalist, a solid performer.
Well, they've got to find...
Shot a nice pair of 10s there.
They've got to find a 10 just to get a share here. One of them's got to find a 10, and the other two better get 9s. Well, there's the 10. The problem that Kazakhstan have got is that these three could easily just rattle off 3 10s. And,
Yes.
you know, we're thinking this is a nail biter. It could go either way. They could share it. Kazakhstan could even win it. These three could just close the door completely and win this 57-55. No, not happening, though. That's
and a wide one at that.
yeah, only just. But if Woojin Hyek can nail the perfect 10, they'll steal this set, and it'll feel like that as well.
Yes, it will. It looks steady, looks solid, looks fine.
Well, look at that. Well, we've got a gold medal match. And that's wiped some smiles from Korean faces. And I tell you, Woojin Hyek in particular. Yeah,
You can see he's looking at the coach, what's going on.
Why is this happening?
The amount of finals I've watched him in where he just delivers 10, 10, 10. Not today.
Well, how interesting is that? Well, what an interesting pressure shot that was as well. If he'd got a 10, Woojin Hyek would have got 2 points for his team. If he'd got a 9, they would have shared. And he's dropped an 8.
You could see he wasn't happy with it. As soon as he released, you could see he wasn't happy. Then he looked to the TV to see where the arrow went.
Now, I'm sure Denis Gankin, Sanzhar Mussayev and Oibek Saidiyev are all just saying to themselves, those guys, with all their World Cup medals, with all those Olympic gold medals, we're level with them in a gold medal match. This is where they've been throughout this competition. They've taken out the Americans. They've beaten 2 nations in shoot-offs.
Yes.
This is exactly where they'd want to be right now.
It's crazy. Now, I hope, from a coach's point of view, I hope they're not thinking, I'm hoping they're just trying to do their normal shot at their normal rhythm, at their normal pace, rather than thinking, we can beat Korea here.
Well, that's how they've got there, because they've got nerves of steel. We've seen that. But I wonder if there's going to be a collective refocus here. But it's Woojin Hyek that we're particularly interested in seeing.
Good shot.
Yeah. Look.
He looks relaxed. You know, he doesn't look stressed, does he? Doesn't look like he's in a gold medal match.
Well, there's a bit of chit-chat coming from his teammates as well. It's like they've just had to sort of settle him down, sort him out. He can't find a 10.
No, it's...
That was only just a 9.
No, exactly. It's a wide one. So even though the score's fine, he's still going to know that he's not on target. Because he would normally hit the 10 78% of the time.
Now, if these three can just fine-tune, they're nailing 9s and 8s comfortably. Now we're starting to see
good shot.
Some 10s. Oh, no, it's just outside. Sorry, excuse me.
If the women didn't win a team medal and the men didn't win gold, I would say it'd be the first World Cup where Korea doesn't get one of the gold medals. But that all might be a bit too soon to talk about.
I don't think they can afford to fall behind by 2 or 3. And it's at least 2. So Saidiyev's got to find a 10 just to keep them vaguely within touching distance. I think right there, this set's gone. There is every expectation that the Kazakhstanis will be shut out of this.
You can see the wind there, just blowing the trees around. But it doesn't matter.
It's not stopping Kim. It's not stopping Im. But it does seem to be having a dreadful effect on Woojin Hyek. Well, another 10 here, and this one's over, really. 9's good enough.
Wide 9.
If he gets a 9, Kazakhstan cannot even get a share. How he'd like a good solid 9. And a 10, of course, would be a bonus. Well, this is extraordinary.
I think this is the weakest I've ever seen him shoot.
Well,
and we've been watching him for a good 6 years now. He's been at the top of the top, and this is not.
You could see the teammates there as well. By the way, Kazakhstan need perfect 10s but that's academic. Let's go back and talk more about Woojin. Yeah, you can see his teammates. They're trying to encourage him, trying to get him going, because he's way off his standards.
And he doesn't look like he's, you know, he still looks relaxed. It doesn't look like he's, you know, having a paddy or spiralling down, but he's just not delivering the accuracy that we've come to expect from him.
Well, it's really academic what the Kazakhstanis do here, because as I say, even if they got 310s, they wouldn't have even had a share. But going back to if they do win the gold medal here, the Koreans, as we think they probably will, will probably feel like chucking his in the river. I mean, it's not one he'll be proud of, is it?
No, but you gotta take him, because sometimes you shoot great and you lose, so you gotta always.
Yeah,
so if
I guess when you put it on your mantelpiece, no one's going to say, "Well, that's a tarnished one," because you know you got carried by your teammates.
They all look the same.
Well, it turned out in the end to be a comfortable set for the Koreans, but as you see, they're not exactly loving life at the moment, because one of their number seems to be nailing 7s and 8s. But dropping below 50 there, Kazakhstan, for the first time.
And, in all honesty, Korea probably thought they'd be going home by now. They thought they'd have this 6-0. As I said to you earlier, when you look at it on paper, it should have been a totally one-sided affair, and it's not. This is a competition.
And it's great to see that Kazakhstan have proved that they deserve to be here as well.
Yeah. 6-0 would not have been a disgrace, but the fact they've already got some set points on there.
Well,
it would be great to have a tie-break.
Oh, wouldn't it just? Because who would you put your money on then? The Koreans with all their experience, or the guys that have just won back-to-back shoot-offs?
The tie-break kings. I don't know. I'd just like to watch it.
It's not like you sitting on the fence.
I do love a shoot-off.
Everybody loves a shoot-off. I tell you, you wouldn't want to bank on Hyek coming up with the big shot to win gold for you the way he's struggling at the moment. I say struggling, it's 8s and 7s he's hitting, but this is a man that you would just say, well, if it's not 10, why wasn't it a 10?
Yeah, it's not his normal form, you know. He can go competition after competition, and yeah, I've never seen him shoot this poorly.
Gankin to get this all-important fourth set going for Kazakhstan.
A little bit slow. Okay.
They've been a breath of fresh air, these three, throughout this World Cup week. Really has been a joy to watch them progress.
Yeah, and it's solid shooting.
They're consistent, they're composed, their temperament is sound. Yeah, that's, again, you something you referred to earlier, Mike. It's a good grouping.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not erratic and spread about. Good pattern to it.
Would you move your lineup and have maybe move up to the number 2 spot here? You know, we've seen some of the other groupings mix and match a little bit with their 1, 2, 3, or would you just keep it as it? Well, obviously they're keeping it as it is.
It's something in the toolbox, and these guys will have tried different orders in practice. They will not be wondering if it's better. They will have tried it. So the fact they haven't. Ooh.
Oh, well, that's a strange one as well from Im.
Maybe I'm going to get my wish.
Well, the way this is going, maybe Woojin Hyek is now going to come up with a 10 to have us level. There you go. That might just be the shot that determines the destination of this gold medal, because he's been the weak link, and he'll admit that himself. But he's come up with a huge 10 just to have Korea level at this point. Now, these are the most important arrows. Oh, what about that from Denis Gankin? I was going to say, the 3 most important arrows these guys have shot this week, and Gankin's got them off with a beauty of a 10. Now, here comes Sanzhar Mussayev, and I think every neutral is thinking, come on, let's have another one of those.
That could be it. I really don't mind who wins, but I'd love to see a shoot-off. just to see who delivers when that pressure's on. Come on, 10.
Saidiyev's got to find a 10, hasn't he?
That was quick. Yes.
Wow.
So Korea got 2 points to play with.
That's not a lot. There is no wiggle room. 10-10-9 seals gold. 10-9-9 seals gold.
9.
Well, there's a 9.
So pleased this has been a proper match, because it could have been a one-sided affair.
You know what? This could come down to what O can come up with. And who would bet on what he's going to produce? Wow. Now, my goodness me. He's got to get a 10.
I still wouldn't bet against him. Even though we've watched all of those 8s today, I still wouldn't bet against him.
Well, is he going to be the hero after all?
Everyone will forgive those 8s.
There's another 8. My goodness. You've got your wish.
Fantastic. Okay, so just to remind everyone, we're going to have 60 seconds on the clock. We're going to have 1 arrow for each athlete. I think they'll do it 1 arrow from Korea, 1 arrow from Kazakhstan, 1 from Korea, 1 from Kazakhstan. I think that's going to be the format. Tie break. And it's score, but if you're tied on score, it's then whoever had the arrow closest to the middle. So sometimes a 10 is great, but if you can actually put a 10 right in the middle, that can clinch it.
Drop it on that X.
That's what we want.
Well, just remember, Korea are the #1 seeds. So many gold medals between the 3 of them. But Kazakhstan are the form team when it comes to a shoot-off. They've beaten Russia and Japan.
It's almost like all their shoot-offs this week have been building up to this shoot-off for a gold medal at the opening World Cup. That is fantastic.
What a sensational story it would be. It's already, in many ways, the story of the week, what these guys have done. To push the Koreans in the gold medal match to a shoot-off just takes it to another level. If they could actually go and win it.
Wow. Well, I think then the headline, funny enough, would still be Korea, but it'd be Korea's worst World Cup ever. And you don't expect to dominate the Olympics and then go to the next season and have your worst ever World Cup.
And on what we've seen in this final, you've got 6 shooters out there. Who is the shakiest of those 6?
Yeah. Oh.
Exactly.
And that's not something I ever thought I'd say.
Who would have expected that? 3 Kazakhstanis that no one's ever really heard of on the elite stage.
Not at this level. They've don't get me wrong. They've been around, but they've not been on the world stage like this. They've not been up there fighting for medals, let alone a gold medal at the Shanghai World Cup.
But they have been consistent. They've been very cohesive as a team. And we know that their nerves are just sensational. You can't win back-to-back shoot-offs.
And you'll have so much confidence from going through all those other shoot-offs. Those guys will be there, come on, lads, let's do this again.
Yeah, we've
already
done
it. Yeah,
let's do it again. If you'd offered them this at the start of this match, they'd have said, we'll take that.
I can assure you they would have done, yes.
Well, they've got their wish. Now, can they deliver? Look at head dropped. Now he's looked up. Wow.
That is a soft start, that is.
My goodness me.
So he stepped off, clock has paused, over to Kazakhstan.
So Kim has opened the door wide. Denis Gankin, can he walk through it? Shaking.
Pressure's on. Okay, we'll take
he's
it.
Edged in front. Listen to the reaction of that crowd as well.
It's not perfect. They're a little bit tight for time because on average they're given 20 seconds a shot. So he used a second more. So they can't all do that. Just to be aware, we might end up... Okay.
Now that's a bit more like it.
No, he won a gold medal in London for a reason. I know we should be impartial, but...
Well, you can hear it in the crowd would love it. They're not anti-Korean. They're pro.
No, exactly.
The underdogs.
That says that you got it.
Everybody loves an underdog.
That camera is on the wrong target there. There we go. So tied for score.
Now, don't forget, O is coming up next, but if it stays level right now, the Koreans have the closer to the X.
Okay, well spotted.
So if O can get a 10 here, which he
Oh
can't.
my, the door is open. This is incredible.
It is wide open, and Oibek Saidiyev
bet
needs a 9 for a gold medal.
And I bet you he didn't think he would have
Can
the
you
chance
believe this?
to shoot for gold in Shanghai.
He's been here against Russia. He's been here against Japan. And he's done it! Absolutely stunning.
Incredible, incredible. History making.
That is one, surely, of the biggest shocks in the history of World Cup shooting. It's
It is
unbelievable.
incredible for Korea to get knocked out in the ladies and then to get beaten in the gold medal match in the men's is unheard of. This one will go in the history books.
Yep. Look
Korea
at
are
all
going to
those-
have a long flight home to think about this.
Oh, all of them, because it wasn't all just Woojin, Hyek. Hyun had a couple of weak moments as well. But let's not say, well, Korea underachieved here. Let's say Denis Gankin, Sanzhar Mussayev and Oibek Saidiyev have proved themselves this week at the elite level. Kazakhstan team shooting has arrived, and it's arrived with a huge bang. Look at that. The number 15 seeds. You wouldn't have expected them in the quarterfinals.
No, you wouldn't.
Never mind gold medals.
But every time they were tested, they stood up to that test and delivered. And this hasn't been given to them. They've gone out there and grabbed it.
Absolutely
really
wonderful.
impressed. Really impressed. They deserve that gold medal. They should cherish that.
Well, we're going to have to take a time out at this point because we've got to catch our breath. All of your supporters are going to catch their breath as well. What a stunning gold medal match that was in the men's team event. The Koreans, all those World Cup gold medals, all those Olympic gold medals between the three of them, beaten into a silver medal by 3 Kazakhstanis who have certainly arrived on the big stage. It's been a wonderful morning, and we'll have more to come in the afternoon as well. The mixed team bronze and gold medal matches, then the individual for women and the individuals for men. But what a way to sign off. Denis Gankin, Sanzhar Mussayev, Oibek Saidiyev from Kazakhstan, the surprise heroes of what's been an amazing week so far in Shanghai at this World Archery World Cup Stage 1 tournament. It's been terrific stuff. Join us in a couple of hours' time for what should be a terrific conclusion to the tournament. All smiles for Kazakhstan. They've loved it. We've loved it. Join us again for the rest of the action in a couple of hours. Bye-bye for now.